All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving headfirst into the AI gold rush. We're going to go from online fakes and fortunes made in the shadows all the way to the very future of reality itself. So, let's get right into it.
Okay, let's start with a simple question, one that really gets to the core of where we are right now. You scroll past accounts like this on social media all the time, right? Influencers sharing their tips, their day, their life. But here's the thing. A whole lot of them aren't even real people. They're made entirely by AI, and honestly, telling the difference is getting almost impossible.
And, of course, this has kicked off a whole booming and very underground industry, what we're calling the AI imposter economy. This is a world where AI isn't just a creative assistant, it's a factory for faking influence, racking up followers, and, you guessed it, making money in some pretty shady ways.
So, you might be wondering, how do they do this so fast? Well, there are literally tutorials out there for something they call violent account creation. And yeah, the name is pretty intense, because the process is just brutally efficient. In just a couple of days, you can spin up a fake persona, pump out a ton of content, and basically trick the algorithm into giving you a huge audience from nothing. And this is where it all leads, the black market. As soon as these fake accounts get enough followers, boom, they're up for sale. An AI health account could go for around 6,000 yuan. Get a fake pet influencer with over 100,000 followers, that could be worth over 16,000. And once sold, these accounts are ready to be used for anything from e-commerce scams to pushing disinformation.
Okay, so that's the chaotic, kind of shady side of the AI gold rush. But on the flip side, you have global industries using this exact same technology to literally build the future. To really see what that looks like, let's peek inside the industrial AI engine of a company like the semiconductor giant TSMC.
I mean, think about this. A single one of their factories pumps out 2 terabytes of data every single day. To handle that, their data platforms had to go through a massive evolution. They started with data scattered all over the place, then moved to a central system that was hard to use. Now they're on what's called a lakehouse architecture. It basically lets any engineer just dive in and get the data they need, no specialists required.
Now, all this industrial AI, it is incredibly power hungry. We're talking about a demand for high-end GPUs, the chips that are the real muscle behind AI, that hasn't just grown, it's gone completely vertical. This chart right here, this is the hardware fuel for the entire AI revolution. And it shows you why companies like TSMC are at the absolute center of everything.
And here's a look at their game plan, their roadmap for rolling out generative AI. You can see they started pretty simply, just using general AI assistants. But the end goal, stage 4, that's where it gets really interesting. They're aiming for sophisticated AI agents, basically AIs that can run complex factory operations all on their own. It's a journey from AI as a simple tool to AI as an intelligent partner.
So a powerful AI engine needs 2 things, right? You need the computing power, the GPUs we just talked about, and you need the human brain power. And that second part has kicked off an absolutely insane talent war in Silicon Valley for the handful of people who can actually build this stuff.
And OpenAI CEO Sam Altman, he says it himself. He's never seen anything like it. And here's the kicker. There are maybe 1,000 to 2,000 people on the entire planet who have the deep expertise to build these foundational AI models from the ground up. And every single major tech company is trying to hire them. And the money being thrown around, it is just mind-blowing. I mean, look at this number, $250 million. That was reportedly a 4-year offer from Meta to a single researcher who was only 24 years old. And often these are exploding offers, giving someone just hours to decide, with no time to even think about other options. So all this cash has basically created 2 camps in the valley. On one side, you've got the mercenaries, top-tier talent who are drawn to these giant paychecks from companies making aggressive offers. And on the other, you have the missionaries. These are researchers who are committed to a company's vision, maybe it's AI safety or open source, and they believe that what they're doing is more important than any paycheck. Okay, so when you have this much power, this much money, and this much talent all swirling around, the risks are huge, right? So the big question is, what guardrails are we building to make sure this incredible new technology doesn't go off the rails? Well, the first thing to get is that the whole security game has changed. It's not just about hackers writing malicious code to find a bug anymore. Now, the weapon, it's just plain English. A carefully written sentence, a tricky prompt, can fool an AI into leaking secret data or doing things it's absolutely not supposed to do.
So how do you defend against that? Well, the security world is fighting back with a three-step strategy. First, you sandbox the AI. Put it in a controlled box to limit any damage it could do. Second, you monitor it relentlessly, watching its every move for weird behavior. And third, you authorize its actions with super strict permissions, controlling exactly what it can and can't do.
And you better believe the stakes are high. Gartner is predicting that by 2026, more than half of all big companies are going to suffer data leaks because they didn't manage their AI risks properly. That's a huge number, and it's why you're seeing governments and companies scrambling to create new rules and standards to keep things safe.
All right, so we've seen AI that can fake reality, and we've seen AI that can transform industry. But the final piece of this puzzle, this is the most mind-bending one of all. AI that doesn't just copy our world, but actually generates brand new ones. A perfect example of this is what researchers are calling a universal world model. And they are a huge, huge leap forward in what AI can do, going way beyond just making a picture or a short video clip. The key difference here, the big paradigm shift, is moving from passive to interactive. You see, the old way, you'd type something in and get a video back that you just watch. But with this new approach, you type a prompt and the AI builds a whole 3D world that you can actually move around in and explore in real time. It's less like making a movie and more like creating a video game on the fly. And this is why so many researchers think it's a giant step towards AGI, or artificial general intelligence. Why? Because it gives AI a sandbox, right? An infinite, totally safe training ground. A self-driving car AI could experience 1 million different traffic jams or accidents without ever being on a real street. And you can change these worlds instantly with a new prompt, just by typing, "Make it rain."
You know, we started this whole thing off with a pretty simple question about a fake person online. But we ended on the edge of something so much bigger. The question isn't just what's real anymore. The real question now is, what happens when we can create infinite new realities, each one as real as the next? And who gets to decide what we build?